Hello and welcome to Wake and Jake. Myself, David Mendelson. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. The baseball world is churning. I think the hottest topic that I want to talk about that came out of this weekend, because it kind of surprised everyone, the NL MVP is very much open to discussion, which it didn't seem like it was. It seemed like Ronald Acuna Jr. was setting the world on fire. The Braves were going to have the best record by far. He is setting records. I think with his next, he has 28 home runs and 59 stolen bases. I don't think anyone's gone 20-60. No one's gone 30-60. Ronald Acuna Jr. is having a record-breaking season for a Braves team that looked like the dominant force in the National League, but he is no longer the favorite for NL MVP. That is now Mookie Betts. Poppy, can he play baseball? An unreal season by Mookie, and I want to walk you guys through it a little bit because it's a little shocking. Mookie Betts, 781 OPS in April-March. 27 games. Mookie was playing like utility. Mookie's speed was down. I remember there was a post, and I'm not even going to say the guy's name because he was just commenting just because of the data was interesting. But Mookie Betts' speed had dropped significantly. Like Mookie Betts used to be kind of like a speed player. Not really a speed guy anymore. Although he's, what's he got? 10 swipes this year, but still, like Mookie Betts, new stolen base rule, Mookie Betts when he was 25 would be swiping bags.
He'd be taking some advantage of it.
He'd be swiping bags. May kicks in, and here's Mookie Betts. 269, 365, a 958 OPS. Sure. That's an awesome month. Mookie's back on track. This is Mookie Betts. He's still a baller. June, 1.037. July, 1.011. So back-to-back, 300-plus batting averages in both months, 400-plus OBP, and the slugging is just crazy. That has now led us to August, and these are Mookie Betts' stats in August. 464, a 5, that's his batting average. Said that kind of quick. That's like a slugging. That's like a good slugging number. 464 batting average, a 514 on-base percentage, an 814 slug for a 1.328 OPS. I think the Dodgers are about to play my snake, so I'm not necessarily rooting for Mookie to continue to go nuts. I was trying to find the best butter knife of, like, how good of a month is that? Shohei in June did a 1.4, so watch out for that. Aaron Judge in May was a 1.3. Forget how important he is and how
he's outpacing 62.
How good he is at the game of baseball. Mookie's doing it in August. Judge did it in September of last year. These are the names, if I was doing a tweet, which I was trying to write one up, these are the names who have a 1.3 month since 2020. Trout, Ohtani, Jordan, Austin Riley, Judge, Betts, and then, yeah, Judge and Ohtani again. So what's that, 5 guys? And, hey, Austin Riley was the only guy that I had to say both names for. Like, these are the creme de la creme of baseball. And it's, one of the best months we've seen in the past 4 or 5 years. That Mookie Betts, I think at DraftKings, which, by the way, you can go to the DraftKings Sportsbook. College football's in gear. How about week 0 last week? Week 1's coming up. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook. They are hooking it up. Their can't-miss offer, $5 on any college football game. And you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Life is more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BAKERS. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BAKERS. The crown is yours. Go check them out. Mookie has become the favorite. I think he's sitting around minus 140. Ronald Acuna Jr. for the first time in a while has plus odds, like plus 125. If you're in the gambling world, you know what that is. Basically, Mookie, if you bet 20, you would win like 16 back. Ronald Acuna Jr., if you bet 20 and he were to win, you'd win like $22 back. So that was a little fake gambling math for you. Mookie is hell-bent. The other way I can split up his numbers is his second half. Mookie Betts is hitting 437 games. He's 1.14ing, so it's not that 1.3 number, but it's still an impressive range that you don't see a lot of players get to. So, with all of that looming, there's a couple other fun things in play here. So, if you're a WAR person, which a lot of the voters are, Mookie's almost 1.1 WAR ahead, at least in B WAR. Acuna Jr.'s at 6.3. Mookie's at 7.4. Do you like regularity? Ronald Acuna Jr. has been leadoff, right field every game. Mookie Betts has played second base. He's played shortstop this year while playing right field. And the Braves were running away with it, right? So, Braves were going to be best record in baseball. They're 84-45 right now. The Dodgers are 80-49. The Dodgers in this time frame have gone nuts themselves. I think they're 21-4, something like that. We had to look up on Last Talking Baseball how historic of a month that is, and that ties into Mookie as well. So let's say the Dodgers and the Braves, team-wise, are going to end up similar, right? Like, one of them will technically have a better record. They're both going to run away with their division, but I don't think anyone at the end of the vote is going to be able to slam the table and be like, wow, like their team ended up being that much better. So team stuff, which sometimes gets in the way of MVP voting, I think that's out. The gaudy stats. This is where Ronald still has a chance to put things on his head because 28 homers, 59 stolen base. So he's going to get into 30 homers. Let's say he lands at 35. Still a big number. He'd have to have a really nice month, but he's a really good player. So I'll get him to 35. The stolen bases were one away from 60. You'd like to think 70's in play? What's the flashiest he can get to? 35, 75? 80's a little nuts. What's our best month, Ronnie? I just had it in front of me. Our best month stolen base-wise was 14.
Okay. Yeah, so 75's in
We've
play.
got a couple more days in August. 75's in play.
Yeah, there's a chance, like, end of the month, Braves, like, fully red light him or something because, like, don't get hurt.
Yeah,
that can happen.
I guess you could see that. I mean, from what we know about Ronald Acuna Jr., I could also see it going the other way. Like, I might steal even more bags.
He might go more if
through
they do
you
that.
guys. I'm going to get that MVP trophy. We'll see. His most homers in a month was 9 and 7. So, yeah, I mean, if he has one more in August and then like a 6 or 7 month, you're looking at 35, 70. His OPS is sitting at 975. A big month. Can he get that close to 1 dot? I don't know. He's hitting 330. If Luis Ariz falls off, could the batting title be in play? And could that be in play? Mookie's at 315. I don't see that in play for him. It could be in play for his teammate, and that's the next fun wrinkle of all of this. The teammates, because if I go to MVP odds, right now in third place, Freddie Freeman. Mookie Betts' his teammate. Freddie has been going nuts on his own. Freddie Freeman is leading baseball in hits, doubles, on base percentage, and total bases. A normal year, that's going to get you, that'll get you pretty close to some MVP voting. He as well has picked it up in the second half. In the first half, he was a .952 OPS. In the second half, he is 1.1ing with a .389 batting average. He is one dotted in 3 months this year, May, July, and August. Freddie Freeman is kind of in play for this. What would he have to do? Would he have to win the batting title? Probably. He's hitting .394 this month. Imagine pitching to Mookie and Freddie right now. What do you do? What do you do? And that's part of the reason the Dodgers have essentially gone undefeated this month. Freddie, first baseman, really can't rack up defensive WAR. I don't know how they changed or do those metrics fully, but I know whenever you bring up those lists. So WAR-wise, right now he's at 5.9, which is, 0.4 away from Ronald Acuna Jr., so that's in play. Why Freddie Freeman has 17 stolen bases, I'll never know. I just don't. He has a .998 OPS, so Freddie would probably have to catch Mookie in OPS. He's got him in batting average. He's got him in on base. Like, Freddie, I don't know what Mookie slipping up at this point would even look like, but Freddie can throw his hat in the ring. The only other guy that I truly think can throw their hat in the ring would be Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna Jr.'s teammate. Your top 4 MVP favorites come from 2 teams. What Matt Olson would have to do, he is first in homers and first in RBI. Sure. There's a path there. He has a .976 OPS. If we go by his months, Matt Olson has gotten better basically since June. He's one dotted the past 2 months. I mentioned that June he had 11 home runs. That was his high month. What does Matt Olson have to do? It's the end of August. 1 or 2 more homers in August. If we're being realistic, Matt Olson would have to go nuts and get us to 55 homers or something like that. A truly special season. His most RBI in a month. He's had 25 RBI months. So could we get him to... God, he's at 112. If you get him to 115, 140, 55 homers, 140 RBI. He's at 5.2 WAR. Is that going to be enough for him to jump Ronald Acuna Jr. on his own team? I don't know. I don't think so. I think what Ronald will be able to put up at the end of the year is going to feel gaudier than what Matt does. And maybe that's horrible timing coming off of Judge's 62. Because otherwise that 55 could jump off the page a little more. And who knows where Shohei lands at the same time. It's somewhat safe to say Matty will be out of it, but it's also hard to argue that against that he's going to be at least top 4 in the MVP. If you really want to have some fun, the next player listed by some betting websites is young, thick Austin Riley. Another Brave. Somehow he snuck into it because he's a sick puppy. Where things get really twisted, and I don't think these odds will be right because I think a Bellinger or a Harper are going to sneak in, but they have Soto, Tatis, and Machado all at similar odds levels, which is funny because
just one more team.
It's going to fall out. But yeah, then it's like Corbin Carroll, Cody Bellinger, Harper if he continues to get hot. So this NL MVP race has been put in his head. Teams, I think, can be thrown out in multiple ways. Like, technically, you'll have votes getting taken from other guys in different fashions. I don't really know. Is it just going to become East Coast versus West Coast? If Mookie continues at this pace, he can't be caught. Like I said, there's been only so many of these months in recent baseball history. But I don't know. I can't. Mookie's sitting here with 35 homers. That's crazy. I think he's having arguably the best year of his career, or at least toe-to-toe with his 2018 season where he did win MVP. He was 346, a 640 slugging, a 1.08 OPS that year. That was a 186 OPS plus, and he won the Gold Glove. This year, he's leading in slugging and OPS, a 171 OPS plus. But yeah, this is easily his best or second best season. I wonder if Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to punch back, because the never have I ever of a 35-75 type deal, or 30-70 even, that is going to jump off the sheet. I can't believe he's hitting 330. And if a Luis Ariz keeps falling back to earth, like, one of these guys is going to win the batting title. The NL MVP has landed in kind of an incredible spot. Like, we haven't talked about AL because Ohtani sitting at 9.9 WAR coming into today. Looks like he's got that wrapped up. This wasn't a conversation at all. And then, I don't know, everyone kind of blinked this month and it was like, wow, okay, Mookie's here. And I'm not writing off Freddie either. I still have Freddie as the best hitter in baseball. That if Mookie and Ronald were to slip up, I think Freddie could sneak in and snag it. And hey, how about a little credit to the Dodgers, who have seen a lot of players come and go. Max Scherzer, Trey Turner. I feel like I'm missing another massive one. I mean, Cody Bellinger, but that was different.
Justin Turner.
Was there another massive Dodger that's walked away?
Something like this.
Maybe not. Either way, they traded for Mookie Betts and extended him, which seemed like everyone was jealous about. Freddie Freeman was a free agent. And people, his MVP, somewhat a Mickey Mousey MVP, right? That 2020 season, him and Jose Abreu. Or was he 2020? Yeah.
Freddie
right?
was 2020.
Yeah. Sorry, Fred, I'm just being honest. The two guys that they went out and got and extended are now MVP candidates for this year. And the Braves, I mean, everyone knows the story there. Same story a little bit. I mean, Acuna was in-house, and they gave him that one of those cool Braves extensions that everyone's jealous about. And then they went out and got Matt Olson, I guess, instead of Freddie, so it's not that impressive. But man, those two franchises are the class of the National League. They're showing it in spades. And yeah, I think the top 4 MVP vote getters are going to come from 2 teams. And I think they are the 2 best teams in the National League. So that is a fun little MVP update there. I think the other topic that we can talk about that just came out a little bit are New York Yankees. Brian Cashman just came out and said that if Boone gets fired this year, which you can understand has been a hot topic around the office. Aaron Boone came into the office last week. We've been interviewing him all year. It's been kind of a eyebrows up, shoulders up, not sure, because Brian Cashman seems to have I don't want to say job for life, but kind of a job for life. Just got extended.
Seems as secure as anybody with that title has ever been.
I mean, seems like I don't know. I don't want to say he's in charge, but he's kind of in charge. And Hal has come out and he says he believes in, kind of not being his dad. And, this year is the blemish over the past 30 years or whatever, which I don't know. I think there's some arguments that a few of the past years have not been successful. Brian Cashman coming out and saying that, actually, I guess Cash didn't say it, but it's being reported. And if it's being reported, I don't know, smoke and fire, right?
We'll take the report for.
We will take on the report for that. That's either one of two things. It's either everyone's safe. The Yankees at the end of the year, and I think this is currently the safest bet, are going to come out and say the Judge and Rizzo injuries were crippling. We hoped that some of our young players developed better. They'll even point to Nestor, Severino, Rodon. Some of it's fair. If all of those guys were healthy all year, yes, I think the Yankees would be positioned better. But every other team has had injuries too. And the Yankees, especially the past few years, they've had a lot of injuries that your roster needed to be set up and positioned just a bit better.
The issues they've had this year are in very large part exactly what we would have said preseason. Obviously, if Judge misses time, that's its own thing, and he did miss time. But yeah, every issue that they've had, we kind of telegraphed.
Yeah, and I think I guess the other side of this is something is going to have to happen. It's the worst season in 30 years. It's, all the atrociousness that we've thrown out with the New York Yankees in this season. Something has to happen, right? And, I've seen people talking about, their main analytics guy. We've seen the hitting coach already go. The pitching, Matt Blake has done a great job since he's been with the Yankees, so you don't think they're going to mess with that. The other thing this could be setting up is the Hal turn into the next boss a little bit. Hal Steinbrenner took a lot of pride in the Judge re-signing. Think about how much he got in the mix there, and he was on his, he was on FaceTime in Italy or whatever. Flex, not bad.
Rightfully got a lot of good press for that move.
I think we can reveal this. We asked Boone off camera, hey, just as desperate Yankee fans, we're does Hal care? Shoot us real. He's yeah, he really does. It's
stopped him in his tracks.
And
Boone's
not,
yes,
not bullshit. He's in on this. And it's okay, kind of need to hear that. I know it's pathetic, but if that is the way they're teeing it up, it leaves the window that Cashman is kind of cleaning his hands on it. And if Hal wants to be that guy, he could take the cheese. But I don't know. I think it's interesting because no matter what happens, Yankee fans aren't going to be happy. Most Yankee fans are pretty sharp, and the internet's already saying, hey, if it's Boone, we realize that's just a cover. This lineup ain't it. I think they're 29th in batting average. That's not Boone. He didn't put the roster together. He's not the hitting coach. A franchise that's built on being the Bronx Bombers, Boone would be pretty symbolic of just doing a fire to do a fire, which does satisfy some people, right? That does scratch a little bit of an itch. We screwed up. Now this happened. We're moving on. I don't know. If I had to guess right now, I think Boone's going to be back. They also just signed him to a new contract. And the Yankees haven't fired a manager since
Buck,
that was 95.
Torrey, his contract expired. Girardi, his contract expired.
they take a lot of pride in that, I don't know.
Yeah. On the one hand, sure, that I could see them blaming somebody, and sports is a unique industry where sometimes sometimes just a new voice is good, and any role you do anything long enough, but I don't know. It seems like Boone's staying. I'm not necessarily opinionated on that.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was interesting that it came out that way because I feel like it can really, really only mean those things. The Rockies dropped Profar, but they didn't call up Cole Tucker. I hate that. What? He's ready. He's ready. I don't know. We did talk in baseball. Obviously, you could just taste the Mariners all day at this point. They're about to play 3 more against the Oakland Athletics, so I think it's about to get even tastier. And yeah, we're in. I don't want to say fake pseudo playoffs because that's really 2 weeks before the season when you have wild card teams or division teams teeing up that it's like, whoa, this you could be in or out.
Teams aren't lining up right now, and we're not quite like whatever the playoff version of the tread line is. But
I mean, look at, Snakes Reds this weekend. Like, Snakes took 3 out of 4. They're in the playoff, and Reds are a game and a half out right now. Like, that's massive. In the game, the Reds, they went on a balk. What's that about? Hate that. I think a little high and tight. Busy week at John Boy Media, as always, as we head into Labor Day next week. My goodness.
How'd that happen?
I don't know, man. Everything starts moving faster and faster. So, hey, thank you guys. We'll be back with the midweek, and we love you.